Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Read M. My name is Emily. Today I have a very exciting video for you guys. So today I've decided that for this video, I'll be choosing my TBR by seeing if I can trust the opinions of authors about my favorite books. So what that means is that I will be looking through my shelves, finding a bunch of my favorite books, and looking on their covers and in the inside pages to see if they have blurbs from authors that I own books of that I haven't read yet. So I will then look to see if I can find any authors, and based on what they said about the book that I liked, and if I own books by them, I will choose a bunch of books, and from that giant selection, I will whittle it down to like probably 2 or 3 books that I'll read for this video and see if we can trust author blurbs, and if an author likes a similar book as you, would you then in turn like their book? So I just thought that'd be kind of a fun experiment and a good way to get through the books that I own and haven't read yet. So yeah, with that, let's just get right into this, and I'm gonna look through here and some of the other books around my room. I'll bring them over to the camera, of course, so that we can look at the blurbs together. The first book that I have found that is one of my favorites that I think has blurbs on it is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. So I love this book, but you know, this video is not about the books that I've already read. This is about the books that I'm going to read. So yes, let's take a look. If there are any blurbs, there's not in the front. Oh, okay, there is one in the back. So this is what I'm talking about. So sometimes on books, as you can see, there are blurbs from authors. A lot of the time they are from publishing presses, like, or magazines and stuff, so that's not really helpful. But this one actually is from an author, which, little spoiler alert, I do own a book from. So this one says, as sweet and devastating as First Love, Autobiography is a masterpiece. Explorations of identity, faith, and what it means to truly open yourself up to another person are handled with grace and laugh-out-loud page-turning delight. I love this book. That's from Kirsten White, New York Times bestselling author of Anti-Darken. So yes, I fully agree with everything that she said in this blurb, and you know, if she has the same opinion about how much she loved this book, maybe I would like one of her books. So I do not own Anti-Darken, which is unfortunate because I do really want to read that book. But I think I do own The Guinevere Deception, which is by her, I'm pretty sure. Once I pick a bunch of these blurbs and authors, I'm going to write them down. But once I pick all of them, I'm going to go round up all the books so I can hold them up for you guys. But I'm pretty sure I own that book and that it's an Arthurian legend retelling, so that is the first one on the list. Next up, we have Growing Out of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake. This is another one of my all-time favorite books, so I thought I would look at this one. Oh, on the back. Okay, there's a lot of blurbs on the back. So first we have Katie Cotugno, who I do want to read books from, but I don't own any. We have Dahlia Adler, same thing. We have Tess Sharp and Becky Albertalli. So, okay, all the books that I own by Becky Albertalli, I've read. I don't own any by Dahlia Adler, but I do own a book by Tess Sharp that I haven't read. So she wrote Heartbreaking, Hopeful, and Honest. Tess Sharp, author of Far From You. So yes, that, again, very much agree with her words on Growing to Stars here. So let me just go grab that book so I can show it to you guys. Okay, so Growing to Stars has led us to Far From You by Tess Sharp, and I believe that this is a thriller. It says The Truth Won't Let Her Go on it. And yeah, so this is definitely a contender. So we have 2 books now, The Guinevere Deception and Far From You. Now, this is also when some real fun begins, because this is when the Dust Jackets situation is coming out. So let's take a look on here. Oh my god. Carl just like saved this entire video. Can I just say that? Because this one has so many blurbs in the back, and there's so many good authors. Okay, so we have Stacey Lee. I don't have anything from her. Sabaa Tahir, amazing, we'll come back to that. Renee Audier, yes. Kirsten White again. Okay, there's 2 votes for Kirsten White right now. Roshni Chokshi, love her, but I don't own any books that I haven't read by her, so can't do that one. And Marie Rakowski, amazing, amazing, fantabulous. Wait, guys, conspiracy theory. Oh my god, guys. The book that I first started this whole thing with, Autobiography by Christina Lauren, when it was blurbed by Kirsten White, which is what started this whole thing, on the back of this one, this book is blurbed by Christina Lauren. Hello. Okay, I am back. It's been a while, but I have collected all of the books. We have Far From You by Tess Sharp, which is a young adult thriller, I believe, or at least a dark contemporary. I think it has something to do with drugs. I'm not sure. So that's this one. Then we have The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White. This is an Arthurian legend retelling. This one I'm kind of feeling right now, like I might start with this one. I'm not really sure why. It's like pretty short, and it honestly has quite mixed reviews, although I have seen some really positive reviews. I've seen also a lot of either middle of the road or negative reviews, so like I don't know why this one's kind of calling out to me though for some reason still. So This is a big contender for the first one I pick, but I'm not entirely sure. The last physical one that I have is Flame in the Mist by Renee Audier. This is the first in a young adult fantasy duology that I believe is somewhat inspired by Mulan, but I've heard to take that inspiration pretty lightly. It's not super similar to that. So, like, I don't know. I've heard to go in with not too many expectations about Mulan specifically, which is fine because, like, I don't really watch Disney stuff anyway. Doesn't matter. So, yeah, this is the first book in that series. So this is the last physical book that I have on this potential list. I think I'm going to pick this one. I think I'm going to pick The Guinevere Deception. I don't really know why. And maybe this will be a horrible idea. But that's what this whole fun process is about, right? And Kiersten White came up many times in my search, so I think that, you know, I'm going to come full circle here, and the first one I found was Kiersten White, so I feel like we might as well start with her. Also, this is the Alcrate edition, so I have this little author letter right here, and I'm going to read it to you because I don't have the blurb on the dust jacket because I don't have it right now, it's more over there, but this should give us like a little bit of a taste of what it's about. Okay, it says, sometimes we need an escape, so I decided to run away, to Camelot. I've always been drawn to Arthurian legends, magic, oh, this is from the perspective of the author, by the way, not making magic versus order, old versus new, love versus duty, the sweeping romance of a city based on the idea that together we can build something better than what came before, and the creeping sorrow of knowing it can't last. But rather than a king and his sword, I wanted to follow a girl and her heart, a girl who is not a princess, but a changeling, put in an impossible situation no one prepared her for. Don't we all sometimes feel like imposters in our own lives, hoping to find friends and companions who can help us see who we truly are? Come to Camelot with Guinevere and discover it for yourself. Wishing you wonder and magic. Oh, and this is the cover, by the way. And look, right there on the front is a blurb from Renee Audier, which is another one of the authors for this potential TBR. So anyway, this has been a very long-winded, rambling session, and I apologize for that. But I have selected my first book, which is The Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. And it's my first book from Kiersten White, so I'm excited to update you guys. I'll probably update you around third or halfway, depending on what I'm feeling. Pretty short book. Hopefully I'll get through it pretty quickly. And yeah, I'm super excited to continue with this TBR and get started with this one right here. So, see you guys in the update. Hello, and welcome to an update. We are actually in Maine right now, so that's why I am in a different room. And I would like to update everyone on where I am right now in The Guinevere Deception. I have gotten around 2/3 of the way into this book. So I'm on page 234, I think out of like 340 something pages. And so far this book has been probably like 3-star, like middle of the road. It's been fine, but nothing like super exciting. I really did like the beginning, and then the middle kind of dragged a bit, but now things are picking up and getting quite exciting, and I really just want to continue reading, so that is exciting. But I will give you a little like small synopsis of the very beginning so that you can get a sense of what it's actually about, because I didn't really know too much going in besides that it was an Arthurian legend retelling. So essentially what this is about a girl named Guinevere, but that's actually not her real name, and she has been sent by her father figure, or father, not really clear about that, Merlin, to go to Camelot and pretend to be the actual Guinevere, who is supposed to become the queen and marry Arthur. And this Guinevere, the fake Guinevere, why it's called The Guinevere Deception, actually has magic, which is banned in Camelot, and she has to kind of hide that and use it to protect Arthur from a threat that she actually doesn't know what it is, but Merlin, since he can like see the future and stuff, has been telling her like, you have to protect Arthur from a threat, and that's why I'm sending you there. So that's basically what it's about. And it was pretty intriguing in the beginning, and as I said before, it dragged a little bit, and now it's getting better again. And then just a few things that I thought were kind of funny is that there's a character named Mordred, and apparently I think he's supposed to be kind of likable, but I just really can't get over the name Mordred. It's just really not a vibe. But I mean, I guess the author couldn't really control that because Mordred is probably the name from like the legend, but whatever, that's fine. Arthur is like not really, doesn't have a character. Like, I don't really know if that's going to change or not. Also, this is going to be a series, so like we'll see about that. But I do really like Guinevere, and I do really like a certain subplot that's happening with something called the Patchwork Knight, which is sort of like a mysterious subplot, and I really like where that's going right now. And I'm kind of like in a part where some like not plot twists, but like some reveals are happening, and it's quite satisfying. So I'm excited to keep going. I have like 100 pages left only, so I'm probably gonna finish like today or tomorrow. So yeah, that's kind of all I have for this update, and I'll update you all when I read more, or probably no, I'll update you all when I finish, probably, unless something crazy happens and I like need to say more. So yeah, see you guys when I read more. Welcome back to this update. I have finally finished The Guinevere Deception, and here's the thing. It did take me, honestly, quite a while to read. It took me 9 days to read a book that's only around 330 pages, which is not, you know, my usual pace, and the reason for that is that I felt like it was a little middle of the road. So this is a 3-star. Do I necessarily not like it? No. I do think it was pretty interesting and there were parts that I enjoyed, but I don't think I would necessarily recommend it, although I also wouldn't necessarily not recommend it. The reason I picked it up was because of, well, of course, for this challenge, but also because of the Arthurian legend aspect, and I definitely think it might have been honestly better going in had I known some of the Arthurian legend beforehand, because maybe like the stuff that was different would have seemed more cool and like a different take on it. Whereas since I didn't really know anything about it, it was just kind of like what I was like, I was just going along with it. It wasn't like a twist on Arthurian legend to me, really. And I felt like the writing was actually pretty good, so I'm definitely going to check out other books from this author, especially her Anti-Darken series, which I believe is like a gender bent retelling of, or not retelling, but a gender bent like story of Vlad the Impaler. But anyway, that's different. I think that this book suffered from repetition and a very, very slow plot, and even the plot that did eventually happen, which really only happened at like the last 40 pages, it wasn't like that much of a twist really, but there was enough to like keep me wanting to read more, which is, you know, why I finished it, because I do DNF a lot of books, but I didn't DNF this one. Like, it was good enough where I was like, I do want to get to the end, but I don't think I will be reading more of the series. But overall, like, this wasn't a horrible book or anything. It just definitely wasn't as good as the book where I got the blurb from, which was, I believe, if I remember correctly, Autobiography by Christina Lauren. So for this first book, the experiment didn't really work, although if we're going back based on like writing style, I mean, I feel like it did work, because I can see why these authors would be friends, because their writing quality is definitely like high. So I would definitely want to read more from this author, and of course Christina Lauren in general. I'm gonna have to pick a new book for my next one, and actually something very exciting about that, which I'll tell you in a second. Okay, so one of the authors that I had chosen in the very beginning of this video was Tess Sharp, who wrote Far From You, and well, I do have that book, I just don't have it with me right now, but I do have that book and I'm still really excited to read that one. When I was packing for this vacation, I remembered that I actually had another book by Tess Sharp that I'm even more excited about, so it might be the next one I read. I haven't fully decided yet, but I think it will be, and that is The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharp, which is sort of a, I believe, con artist story, which, you know, if you've seen my 5-star predictions video, you know is like one of my all-time top buzzwords. So like this book is definitely standing out as probably the next one I'm going to read. So yeah, I'll update you when I actually decide which one I'm going to read next. It might be in a little while because I'm actually reading a different book that's not for this video right now, but once I finish that one, I'm going to get to one of the books for this video, probably this one, but we'll see what happens. I apologize in advance if you can hear the fan in my room, but there is absolutely no way I will film this without the fan, because I would pass out from heat exhaustion. So anyway, okay, so I'm not exactly sure where I updated you guys last, but I did end up completing The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharp, and this book I ultimately enjoyed. I thought it was pretty good, pretty decent. Definitely was not the best YA thriller I've ever read. Definitely was not the best con man book I've ever read. If you want a really, really good con book, you should read Here Lies Daniel Tate by Kristen Terrell. It is so underrated, but it is so, so good. I've literally made all my friends read it, and they were all obsessed with it too. This one was pretty interesting. I really liked the present timeline that it had, which took place in a bank robbery where there were hostages, but then I felt like the story was a bit bogged down by the flashbacks about her like con lifestyle. Like I honestly felt like the conning part of this book was the least interesting part to me. I felt like there might have been a few too many personas to really remember all of their significances, and the ending fell a little bit flat. Like I felt like there was a lot of mysteries kind of set up that didn't really go anywhere, or if they did, they were just kind of boring answers. I also wish that the characters were a bit more fleshed out. Again, I think this might have been able to be solved if there were a bit fewer number of girls that they like talked about in the past, like her personas, because I liked the characters like Wes and Iris and even the main character Nora, but like I never felt a connection to any of them. I was just kind of like, okay, they're interesting, but I don't care about them. So I wish that also probably could have enhanced the stakes a bit for me. But overall, I did like this book. I'd give it a 4-star. I mean, over time, it's possible it would change to like 3.5, but I think I would stick with a 4 because I was never like angry or bored while reading it. I just was pretty indifferent to it. Like, I thought it was pretty good. The action was pretty good, but it didn't have any like super exciting meaning or anything like that where I was like super pumped about it. But I definitely liked it, and I'm interested in reading more from Tess Sharp in the future, but not for this video because, you know, that's a different endeavor. I am super excited though about the upcoming movie adaptation, which is starring and I believe produced by Millie Bobby Brown, and I know that Jason Bateman is involved somehow. I think behind the scenes, not as an actor, because that wouldn't make sense, but that's still super exciting. Like, I love both of those people. I love Ozark, so like I want to see what they're gonna come up with. For my next read though, I have decided for my final one, I'm going to choose Renee Audier. At home, I actually, in the clip that I recorded, I chose Flame in the Mist because that's the book I had owned by her, but now I'm at school, I'm at college, and I don't have my physical books with me, so I can read any Renee Audier book, I suppose. So I started The Wrath in the Dawn this morning. I am not very far at all, only like 1 chapter in, but I really like the writing style so far, and I'm super excited about it. I'll put the cover over here somewhere of The Wrath in the Dawn. It's kind of reminding me a bit of Cast in Firelight by Dana Swift with the whole betrothed situation, and I think it's going to be enemies to lovers as well. Not positive about that, but we're going to find out. I know it's a duology and it's really well loved, so I'm excited to get into it, and I'll update you more with thoughts as I go. Hello everyone. So it's been a little while since my last update, and that is because I did officially start reading The Wrath in the Dawn by Renee Audier. Oh, also I apologize again for the fan, but I will literally pass out if it's not on, so I'm sorry if you can hear that in the background, but whatever. So I started The Wrath in the Dawn, and here's the thing with what happened with that. So I read 35% into it, and I don't think that I could tell you what a single person looked like, what a single thing that was happening was, who any of the characters were, or anything. And I was like over 100 pages into this book. So I made the decision to DNF. And that, you know, was a bit rough because I've been so excited to read Renee Audier's books for so long. I finally got to them, and that's what happened. However, I will say the writing style, even though it sounds like I didn't understand anything that was happening, I don't know why, it wasn't the writing style really. Like, I actually liked the writing style, and I'm definitely interested in picking up more series from her in the future, especially Flame in the Mist, because I own that series, so I'm definitely gonna look into that into the future. But so yeah, unfortunately this video is just kind of ending on a flop. It's ending on a DNF, but you know what, I feel like that kind of really shows the range of what this project did. One of the books was a 3-star, one of them was a 4-star, and one of them was a DNF. So I think that really just kind of shows that blurbs probably mean nothing. And you know, I've heard even from like people within the industry that like sometimes people don't even read the books that they blurb, they're just friends with the authors, so they say that it's good, you know what I mean? I think that this video's conclusion is just that, you know, even though I still sometimes listen to blurbs because I'm excited when I see an author I like on the cover, I don't know if it necessarily means anything actually substantial about the work inside. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video has been a bit of a mess. I started it so long ago, but I have, you know, new videos coming out soon. I am currently reading such a good book, and I'm hopefully gonna be able to tell you guys my thoughts in an upcoming video or vlog or whatever. So that's kind of all I have for this little blurb project. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, commenting for engagement, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!